What's fun about the Blacklist redemption, and I think on a weekly basis, is that we constantly go to different countries. There's always a new case that we take on, something unexpected, some company who hires us, or an individual, or somebody who goes missing, or is hijacked or kidnapped, or so there are different ways for us to go out in the field and solve a case, which doesn't always have a happy ending, but most of the time we try very hard. I think describing it as a Mission Impossible type of show brought to the smaller screen is a very good way to do it. So it's great to see on a television show that you see so many action-packed sequences, and intrigue and unexpected, fun, sexy kind of adventures for everybody to go on. Redemption takes you around the globe throughout the season. We are going on many adventures through various countries all over the world, and there will not be a dull moment. I can tell you that. I've looked in my career always foremost at who's the character, what are her motivations, what makes her tick. Can I live with this woman for a while? Can I learn something from her? Whatever the variations on that theme were, because I'm really not in control ultimately of the end product and the director and the script. So it's always been my starting point in that. And I've done a lot of films over the years. I've done very little television, but what I've done has been an incredible experience because it becomes this collaborative effort in a way very different from film. Not that film is not collaborative, but film is already set. By the time that you sign on as an actor, the script is done. You know what your arc is as a character. And so when I first started in television, I worked on Nip Tuck with Ryan Murphy. And what I found fascinating about the process is that they pitched the original idea to me of the character they wanted me to play. And as we were starting to film and they realized, oh, wow, I remember Ryan coming up to me saying, oh, wow, you're a really good crier. And all of a sudden I had these crying scenes. And then they would change, all sorts of story points and storylines. And before you know it, you have an entirely different character, or you're on a whole different mission, or whatever it is. It becomes, it's a two-way street of you give something, they give something, and all of a sudden it veers off into other directions that nobody had foreseen. And that makes it very different than filmmaking. And so to come to set every single day really not knowing where the characters are going to go, where the stories are going to go is exciting because it keeps me on my toes. A woman like Scottie, especially because she has so many layers. It's not somebody I would get tired of very quickly because I'm never quite sure. She's like an onion. You unpeel and unpeel and unpeel, and something constantly is exposed, and you find something else out about her. And so unpredictability in characters is always a very big plus to me. We've all seen the very strong woman who's in charge, who knows everything, and that's not very relatable because everybody has different personality traits, and behind all of that veneer of hardness and toughness and all of that has to be something else. Well, I think the reason for me to tune in if I was not on the show would be just the exciting part of having weekly, a very international kind of show with heists and a band of criminals who are all coming together to solve problems that nobody else can. A woman at the helm of it who is ruthless, but at the same time very vulnerable, and one never really knows where they stand with her, what she will do next. Everybody's seeking redemption on some level, and it's just a very fun, sexy, unpredictable, action-filled world. And I think the reason why this is a perfect job for Scottie, and the fact that she hires a bunch of criminals rather than, government workers, is because it suits her personality, and whatever she needs to get done, she's going to get done with people who will bend the rules in the way that she's willing to bend any rules. Which of course makes it very unpredictable, very exciting, and yes, she can be extremely calculating, but she can also be very persuasive in different ways by being seductive or vulnerable or whatever the moment calls for. I think there will be moments where everybody starts wondering who is doing something behind the other person's back. I mean, when you have criminals to begin with, everybody knows that nobody else can be trusted because they can't be trusted. Well, there certainly will be no boundaries as to where we can go and where the show is going to take place and where the show is going to take us on international levels. Which countries that's going to be exactly, we don't know yet. And plus, we don't want to give that away. It'll be very fun to see, but it will be very, very international. And that's the wonderful thing. I mean, the cases can take them literally anywhere in the world. And because this team can go to places that no other government or organization can go to, and can go beyond any limits, it will be very fun to see where we go, who we encounter, and what we're going to do with the information.